Hello.
Hello, gorgeous.
Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yay, thank you for being here. I'm seeing some friends here. Hello, Cosmic Commando 369. And everyone here with us live. It's super amazing to be here with you today. Yeah, and I'm really grateful because we're doing an incredible thing this weekend, the Inner Guidance Summit. So cool how it came together. I'll just say real quick that, I'm in this really interesting time in my life where basically I'm going through this gigantic health initiation, and my MO is like, I'm just saying no to everything. Like, even things I really want to do, I'm saying no. And this invitation came through, and it was like the one thing that I was a full body yes to. My inner guidance was saying yes to inner guidance for everybody. So I'm so delighted to be a part of this, and I wanted to bring Stephanie on to talk about it a little bit. And I'm wondering, because I think part of the reason I said yes is that, even while I'm in this kind of healing cocoon, I'm still always searching for ways to show up and be of service to my community and to the world. And the world right now is in a crazy time. So I saw a video you did where you've done other events like this in the past. You're like, I'm never going to do those again, but you decided to do this one and you decided to do it right now. So I was wondering if you could share with everybody, like, why this, why now?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm just so grateful that you received that full body yes. It's so great to have you as part of the summit. Um, my work in the world is all about supporting highly sensitive people with their intuition, trusting themselves, accessing the spiritual support that's available that wants to, come in and help you. And as you said, like just a dumpster fire right now, everywhere you turn, and it's very scary, and people are feeling afraid for themselves and for their loved ones and their communities. And so I just felt, and well, let me go back. I also looked around and saw like what other people were doing with summits, and I saw some new ideas that I hadn't tried in the past, and that made me reconsider like my capacity to host a summit, we could say, because I'm also like I'm an ADHDer, I'm disabled, and like it just I didn't have a capacity to keep doing these events. But now I found a more light way to do it. But the main thing was just looking around and seeing like I don't like these speaker panels that I'm seeing on these events, like, and even like a couple events that I was part of, like I don't want to shade those events, but just like there was a variety of political viewpoints that I was uncomfortable with. And so I just really wanted to create a space where I've screened everybody. I know we're aligned, like we're here for liberation. We're here to uplift diversity and uplift like liberation. I just said that twice. It's important.
That's
And
what we're here
aliveness.
for.
Yeah, and so I just felt that it was time for me to create the thing that I didn't see that I was looking for, and I also wanted to like bring in that community for myself, like a new community of peers, because there's people that I unfortunately like can't be in community with anymore, and that's I have grief over that, and there's a loss. So I was guided as well, and had received a very clear vision of like what this is for, who this is for, and it was just really easy like to call in people, and so it's just been a very magical experience, and it's very meaningful for me, and like something great to focus on right now. Like it's part of how I'm keeping myself sane and grounded, and like feel like I'm in alignment with what I'm here for, my values, and what I can contribute. So there's my long-winded origin story. Ooh,
Yeah,
using
no,
my
it's great.
earphone
It
here.
feels like, so part of the reasons for my yes were that it feels like exactly what is needed at this time, because when there is so much fear and uncertainty and things are crumbling and collapsing, like we need everyone in their power, and really grounded and rooted in that. And then the second thing too that really called me, that really, really called me, I'm also ADHD. So we're both neuroemergent over here. I know there's many other people in the summit, as well as an incredible other amount of diversity in all the ways, including, racial and, queer and all the ways. And, I too am in this point really in aligning with communities that are inclusive, and that really understand how to represent and embody that biodiversity in community. So that was a huge draw for me as well. So yeah, and also you putting out the values, you know, so super clearly. I was like, yes, this is what I'm aligned with. And I feel like this is important to note for anyone here that's listening, that's like, I don't know, do I really want to go to another summit? You know, because there's like all, you know, there's all these online events, and we're also, like you said, at our capacity with a lot of things, you know, but I
Yeah.
found this one different for these two reasons. So that was the first one I wanted you to speak on, was just, yeah, your commitment to the diversity of it. Yeah, like just, I don't know, does that spark anything? Because
Yeah.
it's so clear in there.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for reflecting that back. And I'm just so happy that I was able to clearly articulate and communicate like who this event is for and like who I'm calling in. I think, you know, diversity has always been a core value for me. And that's been reflected in all the events that I've hosted. And so in some ways it's like not something new with this event, but I think you know, being more politically aware was maybe the new layer this time. But yeah, I think there's so much diversity in the highly sensitive community, and like we just don't need another summit that's all full of spiritual white women. And I also want to acknowledge like I look like a spiritual white woman. I am white. And you know, but I try to just like embody my values and you know in my leadership through this event. And so I just felt um, you know, that's something I could do is just create a space to uplift and celebrate and, you know, cross pollinate all these amazing pathways to inner guidance. And, you know, everyone on the speaker panel, like you said, is like from a different lived experience, a different cultural background, spiritual background, like methodology, everything. Like everybody has their own unique perspective. And like, I just think that's just like, that's wealth. That's resource. That's like something that we should appreciate and then like exchange back. And I also like, you know, am excited about having the speakers be able to get paid through this event. That was another thing that's important to me. And that's one of the wonderful reasons if you're interested in getting the lifetime replays, you can get the all access pass and the speakers will get paid. So it's like a win-win. That was my vision, really.
Yeah. And I love to, you know, like, so it's free for anyone that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. And also there's that opportunity, and it is really about community and collective care in there, you know, which is so amazing. And I just want to give a huge, you know, shout out and support to your allyship, really, you know, in creating this in the way that you did. I think, you know, yeah, you talked about like the spiritual communities being mostly white women, and I'm sure a lot of people have had that experience, you know, and there's nothing wrong like if that is your lived experience and that's who you are, right? But what I see you doing is really consciously and determinately, I don't know if that's a word, but steadfastly making that a priority. And you know, you mentioned highly sensitive people, like also have been marginalized, you know, just as a lot of other identities, you know, of cultures that are in this. And so I really feel like this event is super important because it's a time where we're able to come together and share our gifts and tune into our purpose and our potential and our power, you know, which is really the thing that's going to turn the dumpster fire into, I don't know, ashes that we can put into the garden to grow new
Yeah.
fields, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think, you know, like that's, you know, part of my core mission is like having people get access to their intuition because you already have it and it's a source of power. And like we need to tap into that power right now, like you said, because these times are asking a lot of us. And it's just part of how we take care of ourselves as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will be speaking about highly sensitive marginalization in my talk, which is
Yeah.
airing on Friday.
Yeah.
So
And
if you
you
want to hear
mentioned
more of my thoughts on that, you can tune in.
definitely, definitely everyone tune into that. And I'm also doing an activation on somatic wealth embodiment. And you mentioned wealth, you know, and it's so important because the diversity that we can embody, you know, like really is a wealth, as you said, whether it's the biodiversity on the planet that gives, you know, life to the food that we, my phone just did.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
as a permaculture designer, you know, like biodiversity is the key to life. And so it is within our communities. And there is so much resourcing, you know, that we can do when we come together in this way. Yeah, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, but it just escaped my mind. Is there anything else that's sparking for you? I'm sure I'll remember once you start talking.
That's a good question. No, I just want to say like how much I genuinely admire and just appreciate all of the speakers individually. Like everyone, it's just a really awesome group. Like this isn't there's we're not doing spiritual bypassing. Like it's not like about selling you stuff.
Yeah.
It's about sharing that wisdom and supporting you and inviting you into your power. And so I'm just grateful for everybody who wanted to be part of this. And I'm excited for our audience to get to experience like everything that we've been working on for the last month, really like a month or so. So
Yeah.
yeah.
One of the things that's just sparking for me now is that also, you know, one of the things that makes it different, and this was really in your leadership in encouraging this as well, is that it's not just like a bunch of people talking at you. You know, like a lot of the actual things that are being presented are experiential, you know, so it's not like we all know we need to tune into our intuition. Right? But we're not talking about it. In a lot of cases, we are also doing it, you know, and I think the times where people are using their voice, it's to send transmissions to things that aren't widely talked about or available out there, you know, but they're in this very sacred container that you've created, you know, and so it's a place for people who do feel disconnected and do feel jaded from the things that they've been tuning into out there that aren't really helpful necessarily, you know, because, and that's why I teach what I teach, is because like unless we have a really embodied experience of something, it's just kind of out here, you know. And so it's the same thing, like if you're thinking about making money, you're thinking about making it and it's somewhere out here and it's somewhere being repelled, right? Because it's not actually like in the fullness of one's actual embodiment, which like includes the body. Spoiler
Yes.
alert.
Yeah, your intuition is not out there. You're totally, totally. Yeah, and I think what you're sharing is like so important, you know, like because wealth is available. And again, like I feel like that's something that we get discouraged, especially like as spiritual people, as people who care about liberation and care about our community. Like there can be that, well, I shouldn't have abundance. I shouldn't have wealth. Like, but we all get to have it.
We all get to have it, and quite honestly, like, you know, the resistance needs to be well resourced, you know.
Mhm.
um, that's it. The revolution, you know, needs resources, and we have all the capacity to do that and have that and be that, you know. And this is really, yeah, this is really our time. So I'm wondering if you have any, if anyone else is like, what is this? I don't know. I'm on the fence. Do I really want to put my email in? What's the one thing you'd say? Like, yeah, why should they do it?
I'm just going to say that I have experienced all the presentations personally, and each one had something for me that I really needed. Like they're transformational, like on a cellular level. So that was my experience as someone who's a professional intuitive. So I trust that there's some gems in there for you. And if you're feeling curious about this, like you really have nothing to lose. You can
Mhm.
always unsubscribe if it's not for you. So just come check it out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good stuff for you.
Yeah, it really is different. And I appreciate you for leading the charge. I think I named this like Sacred Rebels Unite, you know, because
See?
you're leading the charge on innovating and on summits, even, you know, on the concept of that and having it be something, like you said, that's really transformational and radical and does things that we can't really find anywhere else. So,
Yeah, this is like some real shit. That's
yeah,
what we're doing here.
right. I mean, are we here for anything else?
No.
So should we do anything else? Yeah, I love it. Well, it's been such a blessing to be a part of this, and I'm so glad we got to connect today. I hope that, you know, everyone out there who feels this little transmission come through and feels the call knows, like, you know, can sense into the times we're in, and also, you know, their role in it, and their capacity and their ability to, I mean, we basically have an opportunity right now to co-create a whole new reality You know, this
Yeah,
one's
this is the new earth that everybody's talking about.
right. It's like
Like there's
actually happening.
opportunity for that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it has to be
Yeah.
done in community. So thank you for creating this new one, this pop-up community that I know will have ripples, into the quantum and into our lives from henceforth. Thank you.
Yes, maybe so.
Yeah. And
Thank you for
so,
having
yeah, you're
me.
welcome. If anyone here is like, wait, what are you talking about? If you're on Instagram, the links are in our bios. We'll also post things in the comment guidance if you're totally lost, and I will send you a link. If you're seeing this anywhere else, check the comments, check our pages. It's all over the place, and for good reason, because it is going to be amazing, and it starts tomorrow.
So it's
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, today's Wednesday. Yes,
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
What is time?
Okay, before I go, let's just unpack that for a second. Because for a long time, I've been all about transmuting things like Friday the 13th, right? Which have gotten this like weird, scary thing. And it's just like, it's, like coming from that old like witch wound too, where like people have been told that, just persecuted. It's like, it's a number and it's a day and it's actually has really sacred meaning, like beyond how it's been represented by the current powers that be. So
Yeah.
I don't know, did you choose that intentionally or did it just
Yes.
kind of, yeah, okay, good.
Yes. I mean, I was like, I only had a limited window, like just with the astrology and other stuff I had going on. But I was like, when I saw the window, I was like, yeah, Friday the 13th, after the full moon.
Yeah, yeah,
It's too
because we're,
stretchy.
yeah, we're taking what was like have been called dysfunctional, and transmuting it into magic. So.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yay! All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you all in there. Just come, just sign up like right now. Like just don't, like if you're feeling the call, just do it. Don't like your intuition and your whole life will thank you later.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And Stephanie, thank you again from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul, for creating this. It feels very big and it feels like one of the first things I've seen that's going to catalyze other really meaningful new ways for us to come together in this digital and very real world that we live in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being part of it.
Okay, I'll see you in the summit.
All right. Bye, everyone.